What's up, Family Liberty? Drill Sergeant, aka Admin Doug here, and it has come to my attention that we need to provide more context. More context. That's right. You see, I believe it was last week, Big Sarge did a video about the brainworm-addled, always sounding like he just woke up after a night of binge drinking RFK Jr.'s idea of an autism registry. If you're here, you're obviously smart enough to know what we're talking about. It's eugenics. It's eugenics. And that's what they wanted to do. But it has come to my attention that there were people who did not have the proper context with which to receive that information. There were some that said, well, there's a lot of conditions, there's a lot of diseases that have registries, and they use these registries to help further the study, to help understand those diseases and those conditions. And the person who would say that, the person who would really think that the reason for having an autism registry is something other than a eugenics program by the people who are touting eugenics every day, led by a Nazi from South Africa who thinks apartheid is cool, the people who don't like vaccines and who have gotten rid of all pasteurized milk because they hate science, want to study the disease. It's not their fault that they thought that. But even more importantly, because we fought back, because people fought back, this godforsaken idea has been reversed. It has been walked back. So the next time that people tell you, well, it doesn't do anything, it's a call and to march and all these things, all of your protests that you do is never enough. It always is a great excuse to stay on the couch and get fat like good old drill sergeant been getting for a long time now. It's always the best way to do nothing is to say that you doing something does nothing. It's easy. Well, that's wrong. That has been walked back. But I want to put this good news into some context. You still need the context. So today, we're going to put that context on there in 3 words: fear, hate, and indifference. And here you go. You're saying, Drill Sergeant, you're the only person who can take good news of a win we actually had and turn it into hate, fear, and indifference. Well, it's important. It's important because even though this win happened, I don't think that 70% of white people in this country and maybe 20% of black people in this country have the proper context with which to view the win. And here's what I mean by that. Every time we talk about this eugenics thing, every time we talk about this fascism thing, the first thing people go back to is the H-man, Germany, 1930-something to 40-something, right? But that's because that's the only context you have. I and many other black people who remember history, there's a context much closer to home. And this means we also have a much more relevant way with which to see what's going on with our current situation, if you will. Now, first thing is fear. The registry itself is no longer a thing. Yay. Yay, I mean that. This is my happy face. Now, the problem with the registry isn't just that it was even a thing, but the social construct in which that was okay in the first place. Until we had to fight back. And that is fear. Listen to this.
And the second thing that I want to talk about is the eugenics that I'm seeing in my comment section by regular old people because, oh my God, is it horrifying. We've been so focused on RFK Jr. that I think we forgot about all these brain rot, like red hat wearing people and how easy they fall for this shit. My comment section on videos talking about this eugenics rhetoric is filled with people going, well, I don't understand why they allow those people to reproduce if it's genetic. Well, you know, my family has the good genes, so don't you think that we should get like a discounts on health insurance and stuff because we're not the problem? Well, I don't want my taxes paying for some kid that can't talk and is speech therapy. Why does my kid have to be in the same classroom with those people? Like, shouldn't they be in an institution or something? Like, oh my God. It has not been this bad in my lifetime. I have never seen this much eugenics rhetoric against autistic people in my lifetime. Talking about forcibly sterilizing autistic people. That's eugenics. And you're saying this on a video talking about eugenics.
Good and decent family of liberty, I need you to understand that that was not hate. That's fear. We humans fear things we don't understand. But the great thing about fear is fear can be reduced through education. The thing that you fear the most, when you learn about it, it no longer scares you, unless it should. Like, you may want to know that water can drown you. That's a healthy fear. So you have to learn how to swim. You may want to know that fire can burn you. That's a healthy fear. So you take the science to develop a fire suit. Fear can be overcome. Once fear turns into hate, it's a whole new ball game. This win that we got, absent of hate, would be amazing. We are now in a regime that doesn't want to educate. We're now in a regime that may have reversed the dumb idea, and that's a win. They may have walked back the idea of a registry, but it wasn't just a registry. It was the fact that the people who hate education and stoke fear wanted the registry. That lady said it was worse than ever before. Yeah, because there is a cesspool of miseducation called America. It is turned into a lukewarm soup of thick ignorance. And when fear finally boils up to the point where it turns into hate, education no longer matters. And most white people in this country who are straight, or even if you're gay, but nobody knows it, have never experienced a government that hates them. So the context I'm bringing now is one that will inform how we take our wins. You're no longer just another citizen. Your government hates you. If you like democracy, it hates you. If you're autistic, it hates you. If you're a woman, it hates you. It's hard to imagine that being true because you have no context. But a win like this could be as big as a win like penicillin was. It absolutely saved lives. But for the people who know that living in a world where the government hates you, even the invention of penicillin that saves lives can be used as a tool against you.
In 1932, 600 black men were recruited for a study, now known as the Tuskegee experiment in Alabama. Out of 600 men, 399 of them suffered from syphilis. This study promised free medical care for the rest of their lives. However, what the men did not know was that the purpose of the study was to track the full progression of the syphilis infection. It gets worse, as the medications that were administered were fake. In 1943, when penicillin was found to be the most common cure for syphilis, the men were denied it, as it would affect the study. Researchers watched as the progression got worse, and many went blind and insane. The study ran for close to 4 decades and eventually was shut down. However, it was too late, as 3/4 of the subjects had already lost their lives. Many now wonder if this experiment was sanctioned by the government and what else they could be doing behind closed doors.
Fear, uneducated, turns into hate. Hate in power does what you just saw there. For the first time, most of the country is hated as much as we were not too long ago. That's the crazy part. It's no longer just about race, ethnicity, none of that. Anybody who loves democracy and has a dollar that they cannot steal, they meaning our government, people in charge of our government, believe it or not, right now, hate you. So fear, uneducated, turns into hate. Hate in power turns into what you just saw there. And now that everybody knows it's you that are hated, and you can expect these results. Even wins like this aren't wins if people are indifferent. Now, the worst thing about indifference is that it treats hate the same way it treats love. It's indifferent. And for people who have no context of being hated by their government, people who have never actually seen or felt that, They may give things like the benefit of the doubt and not realize that when you're talking about hate, that's just indifference. When you don't realize that you're hated and you give the benefit of the doubt, you're giving hate indifference. Muhammad Ali says it perfectly right here.
Let's say here's 10,000 rattlesnakes coming to bite me. And in those 10,000, there was 1,000 that didn't mean no harm. And I knew there was a good 1,000 snakes out there, but they all look alike. Now, what should I do? Should I keep the door open and let the 10,000 in, hoping that the 1,000 will unite and save me and one bite or kill me? Or should I just be safe and shut the door? So we have white people say, I mean right. I have a black husband. Oh, my children are black. I love everybody. I really believe you. But I'm sorry, man, there's 10 more thousand behind you that don't feel that way. I'm just sorry, but what am I going to do?
We don't give snakes the benefit of the doubt. We are not indifferent to hate. This country has never seen a government that hates it before. Our government hates this country. So everyone now can and will be treated like those poor, innocent men in the Tuskegee experiment who thought for sure that the invention of penicillin was going to save them. Will we see it? Not if we're not looking, not if we're indifferent. We take this win. In a fight against fascism, you take every win you can get, but our eyes are open. We're looking. We are no longer indifferent. We know that they hate people with autism, and so even a win like this gets seen with a slanted eye, because we will not be indifferent. You will not be indifferent to it. Accept the win. Keep your eyes open. The penicillin is not for everybody if we leave it up to this regime to distribute it. Got me? Huh? All right. Well, if you made it all the way to the end, you can say right down there in the comment section, type it out. Drill Sergeant, I made it, Drill Sergeant. And you know what time it is.
And now it's time for the throw punch!